Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Welcome, friends, to another episode of New to Mythics. I'm joined tonight again with Brian C. Thank you very much. Episode 30.2. Let's try it again. 2. For when people are watching this, they'll have seen the first part, but we had some, and it's my fault. We had some technical. I finally had to go like lo-fi and get a Ethernet cable. Like I had bought like a Wi-Fi booster and it didn't work. So I just got an old school Ethernet cable and I got like a 50-foot
cable tied down, man,
and just like strung it and brought it upstairs. So the connection's beautiful now, but I just got a long, stupid cable going down the stairs and people are tripping. But it works. So like, the last episode, I'll have to trim out the parts where we were kind of like, I would freeze, you would freeze. It would be like, oh man, this is not working. So I apologize to you.
No worries.
And then we had a glorious interruption between our tapings. We had Legions Con.
Yeah.
I think I meant to watch the first taping of our show so I would kind of know where we were, but I didn't get a chance. But
I think it's going to be way more fun that we have no idea what we were talking about.
Right. Before, yeah. Right.
And we're just picking up. So
exactly.
You, so the viewer, enjoy whatever happens here.
Yeah. Whatever happens. But I wanted to ask, because I know did you have a table by yourself? Did you have?
No, I was sharing with Jesse Arnold and Mark Rivera, Mark Star Media. Jesse Arnold, just shelve it.
I mean, of all the people to share a table with, you're amongst some.
They are good table buddies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jesse is salted earth. He's like one of the nicest, most genuine. We actually did a Target run. I had been so excited at Legions Con. I'm packing all of these, shirts that I made or shirts that I bought, and I totally forgot socks and underwear. So I had heard that
optional.
Yeah, it's like, I'll be all right. I'm commando, no big deal. And I heard Jesse was going to Target. So me and Jesse and Elijah, who I'm not sure if you met before, is one of the nicest kids or guys. But we did a Target run and picked up figures and. Oh yeah, I got some underwear too. So,
forgot the underwear at Target. Just had to use figures.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Wait, I got to go back in. I forgot what I was going there for. But so you had a table there. What kind of prep work did you have to do? Like, what did you have a lot of stuff that you? And how do you know like how much to bring? Like, if you're sharing a table.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting with the three of us there. I mean, we're communicating a bunch ahead of time to kind of get a sense of who's bringing how much and what. And those guys are phenomenal to work with. I mean, everybody's just super agreeable. I feel like we've got a good synergy going on. Jesse 2 years ago hosted some of my stuff, but I wasn't actually at Legions Con. Mm-hmm. So last year we did the same thing. The three of us did the table together. So this is the second year doing that. So we had a good feel for like, who's going to take up what kind of space and everything. So just a lot of communication about that ahead of time. Jesse really designed the what the table looked like. I don't know if you swung by ours, but he had that tarp kind of up, and the goal was kind of make it look like sort of a bazaar, kind of a marketplace kind of feel.
So that picture of it, that
was it was super cool. Yeah, he did a great job with it. He had this whole like PVC framework for that tarp.
Was that in did you post that on Instagram, a picture of that?
I think so. At least I'm sure Jesse did.
I don't know if I would be able. I shouldn't interrupt the show, but I will add it to the comments
Cool.
when the show comes out. That way people could see the
There
bizarre.
are pictures out there somewhere of it.
Yes,
But yeah,
yes.
yeah. So yeah, other than that, I mean, as far as my personal prep for it, it was just printing because I had a lot of raw prints available. So, months in advance, just making sure I had printed what I wanted printed and then painting up whatever I wanted to try to sell. I had probably close to 50 completed customs that sort of
Wow, dude.
rotated throughout the weekend. Yeah, it was a little overkill this year. A lot of crab guys because everybody
You
wanted
kind
crab
of
guys. So
become known for, know,
I'm in a
like no
niche
one
now. Yeah.
else. There's no one nipping at your heels saying like, that's man, that's
Another one.
that's that's amazing. So where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. So I told you before that there was a little surprise.
Ooh.
I saw this picture first. And so I will add it to stage. So this guy had bought this custom from you. For people that don't know,
Yeah.
this is Corn Boy. He's the heart of the Horseman. That's just my opinion. Such a great guy. But so um he bought that from me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rad because he told me he wanted to get one of the actual mythic versions. Um, but he walked up to the table and saw I had this giant mecha one, which is
Yeah.
literally it's the same sculpt. I just scaled it up. I think 200 like 2.5
Yeah.
times. Just blew it up bigger and then just a whole bunch of robot figure parts just sort of
Yeah.
hodgepodge Frankensteined in there and then 3D printed that big claw there. So slapped that together, and he walked up to the table, saw that, and was like, "No, I want that." I was like, yes, yes, you do.
So I had him on the show. The episode hasn't been released yet.
Ooh.
And we were talking about Legion's Con, and I said, what did you have any pickups, or what was your favorite thing that you picked up at Legion's Con? And he pulled this out.
Nice.
So and you'll have to watch the episode, but
Oh
he
man.
was gushing about how ugly but awesome this thing was. Like
That was the goal.
yeah, 'cause I was like, "So what did you pick up?" And he's like, "This is what I picked up." He goes, "Let me show you." And like he went over and grabbed it and was just like, "This is the coolest thing." Like my girlfriend thinks it's ugly. I'm trying to remember
Uh,
what he said, but like this is like he goes, I just keep looking at it and it's just awesome. So I wanted to share that with you before
uh, it's high
you
praise.
actually see the episode, but he was just so enthralled and in love with that
Yeah.
custom that you did. So good job, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it was very encouraging. I mean, even that he wanted to just get one of the regular ones, but then
Mhm.
to grab the big boy. Yeah, it was
He does
crazy.
love robots and mechs and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, as soon as he said that to me while we were there, and it's like thinking about the old McFarlane figures that they worked, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, yeah, it's all over the place in the
Yeah,
stuff that they did. So
yeah. I wanted to tell you that. As soon as he said that, I'm like, I gotta reconnect with Brian
yeah,
and so I go hold it up and I'm gonna take a picture of it just for Brian. So I took a picture
I
so that
appreciate it.
I could spoil the surprise, but it's better to know, man, because now you
Yeah,
don't have to wait for a month for the
right,
episode.
right,
But so you don't really know like what to expect when it comes to Legion's Con, and like you don't want an empty table, but
right.
you don't want to bring everything home either. So you had kind of a middle ground of stuff that you sold, and you brought some things home.
Yeah, yeah. There was definitely some that came back, and then do the post sales, throw stuff up, and like, hey,
Yes, I was looking at that. So if anyone's interested, check out Brian's Instagram. He's got some. I really love that. I'll show you the ones I really like.
yeah.
Let's see here. I've got some slides. Oh, this is my favorite thing. That's a ghost crab.
That
That is so damn cool, dude.
was so fun. Yeah, that worked out the way it did. The paint made, the color of the resin is not exactly like the Hagnon. but I did I have like a blue wash that I made,
Okay.
so kind of blued up the
I
Hagnon
love it.
parts, so matched it. But
Translucent is really hot right now.
it's I remember as a kid like never really liking it,
Yeah.
but when I was like, what the heck? I have these Hagnon parts. I'm not using them for anything. What the heck? I'm sure somebody will lose their mind over the
Oh
trans,
yeah.
and then that blew up. And, you know, yeah.
Have you made have you made multiples of this, or is this the only one? Or
I sold this one, and then I have parted out and kind of ready to reassemble
yeah,
another one that I'm gonna keep because I did. I was like, I'm not really a big fan of translucents, but I've done so many of these crabs at this point that this one feels unique enough that yeah, I kind of want
absolutely.
to
No,
hang on to that
I
one.
think it's beautiful. That really caught my eye. And I know what you mean about the translucent as a kid. I remember there was like a mail away not Power of the
Oh
Force.
yeah.
It was like Anakin, like old
Mhm.
Anakin or old Obi-Wan or something. And
Yeah.
like it didn't even really count as a figure. It was just kind of like,
It was just a statue.
yeah, I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool, but it
That's not
was
really much to it.
translucent, but it didn't really count. But
Yeah.
still,
Yep.
you still want it. But
Right.
and I really like I this one's cool too. I like the texture on his shell
Yeah.
on the top there. Is that normal texture or is that a little bit
Yeah,
more?
that's on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just maybe pops a little bit more. You can see it a little bit more with this. So this is kinda,
Oh, sorry.
trying to get a little bit of the kinda Chesapeake Bay crab,
Hmm.
Maryland crab kinda look. So a little bit of the blues in there and, yeah, so that just made that texture pop a little bit more.
Yeah. So I don't know if we talked about it in our last episode, but so what made you like pick crabs? Like what is this
Oh,
crustacean kind of
man.
thing that
Yeah.
is that something that you're normally, like are you a fan of crab meat or crab?
No, no, actually, I
Uh,
don't really like it.
I don't either,
Shrimp
but
is, very fried. Shrimp is about
yes,
as much as I go.
right.
Um, yeah, honestly, I mean, it's sea creatures, like, it's in my name. I just sort of gravitate toward that, so I've done a
Yeah.
lot of customs in that kinda realm. We used to joke around as a family that my ancestors the name comes because they lived on the coast,
Mhm.
in Western Europe, and so they were clear, if not particularly creative people. So figure that I'm not living on the coast, but still have a fascination with sea creatures. So I've always been interested in that. The crab thing just really started because honestly, and I think we did talk about this in the previous one, but
It sounds
um, Empire Toy Store or Toy Shop, they always do those mystery boxes. I think they were
Milo.
kind of the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was
Milo
like the first
Simone.
one that really did the mystery box
Yeah.
thing. I think other people have picked up on it and started doing. I mean, Four Horsemen did it too. Um, but every time I did one of those mystery boxes, I got a Skeleton Legion builder, and I just kept. I was like, "Dude is out. Dude is out for me,"
Right?
because he
Yeah.
just keeps sending me these. And I don't collect skeletons. I don't like them. It's not really
Yeah.
my jam. So I had all these extra skeleton parts sitting around, and then I swore off mystery boxes. I'm done. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it anymore.
No more.
But I had all these spare parts, and I'm like, I need something that will just absorb parts so I can kind of clear out the bin. And there was just I had a night that I couldn't sleep. So about 4 a.m., I'm like, you know what? What has kind of spindly
Mhm.
arms and legs that I could do with that? And then it was like, what the heck? Let's try a crab. Give it 4 arm ports so it starts absorbing parts, and that's kind of how that came about. And then yeah, people received it well.
Apparently so. Yes. Yeah, because it's so out there, but just I don't know, it's super cool. It's super cool, man. I love your work.
Thanks, man.
And then so you had to design too the arms, the claws and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they articulate or are they
No, I didn't bother worrying about that. Just they're static. But yeah, man, that took me most of the year to finally get back around and go, hey, wait a minute, I probably should have claws. I was using just the Sphexian hands for
Oh
most
yeah,
of my original
right.
ones. So most of what I do, at this point now is with them. I'll do let me see if I can point properly. Yep, there's the camera. I'll do the big claws that I designed,
Mhm.
up front, and then do the Sphexian hands
Okay.
in the
So
back there.
the
So
claws will plug into like the regular arms.
yep, yeah, just it's a hand port. But that way he can hold a weapon, but
Yeah,
still have the big chompers.
I love those, man. Those are
They're
so damn cool. So
fun.
cool. Very cool.
So like I needed something. I absorbed a whole lot of arms with those crabs. So now I'm working on something to absorb legs. So
I saw like a teaser picture on your Instagram. So yes, look at that, man. That is freaking sweet, dude. Hold on, let me embiggen you. This is like a scoop here.
yeah,
Look at that, dude. Dude, that is just out there amazing, man.
that's
Damn.
lobster guy
Did you
prototype.
I mean, I don't see much there that's mythic. I think it's gotta be
It's a
what
lot of 3D printed. Yeah, so I mean, you get
that
the
is
little mini
gorgeous, dude.
Sphexian hands here, and then skeleton arms,
Wow.
and then skeleton legs.
I think it's amazing. I love the color. That is so damn cool. Um, so is this gonna be something you're gonna mass produce? It articulates
I
really well.
don't know how much I'm gonna because this
A
was a
lot of
pain in
work.
the butt. But it was a pain in the butt to
It
make.
looks like a lot of work, dude.
So I mean, there's the whole torso. That's a whole 3D printed piece there.
That's
The
amazing,
bottom
dude.
torso part is 3D printed. All the legs are 3D printed, and then all these little bits here
Yeah.
are
I love the little
uh,
antenna things.
yeah, those are
So
flex
cool.
resin.
Yeah.
So there's this one. I didn't go all the way with this prototype here, but there's kind of a standard resin up here and on the legs. And then there's the flex resin on the little tendrils here, little antennae. And then there's an anti-dusting resin that there's ports that create the
Uh-huh.
articulation here. So there's
Wow.
an anti-dusting. So it's 3 different types of resin involved in this.
So does
So
the printer differentiate or do you have to do different
you have to
runs?
swap out. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So major pain in the butt. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll make, I
Might
might
be
do
a
another one of them,
yeah.
but this is probably just a
There's
for
gonna
me.
be someone out there that
I
sees that
know.
and throws
I
their wallet
know.
at you
I
like, "I
know.
need this."
But
I'm
the
a
thing is,
fan of your knights. I only have one slide, but I really love this knight. I think it's
oh man, he's right back here. Yeah.
yeah, fantastic. This is one of the knights that you still have on sale, right? Is this one of the ones that you're
Yeah, I didn't actually post him for sale. I mean, if anybody's
Oh, I'm
interested,
sorry.
I'll no, but yeah, he's right here. Um, so I didn't actually post him for sale, but if I'm not opposed to moving him along if somebody's interested. But
Definitely has
uh,
some From Software,
yep,
Elden
yeah,
Ring, or Dark Soul kind of look to him.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the soft goods. I mean, it's actually just the red death. It's those robes. I just chopped them up into 3 pieces. So kind of the hood is what's on his shoulder there,
Uh,
and then kind of the bottom part of the skirt of the robe is what his skirt is, and then I actually used the actual robe on another figure, so got some soft goods on him as well. So
so how did you get the design on the red death robe?
it's just a paint pen, gold paint pen.
So you drew that.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, dude.
just some little scribbles.
Wow. That's
So here's the
I,
other
I'm
one.
I'm impressed, man.
Oh,
I
I can
think
pop
that's
his head right off.
freaking I think it's amazing. I love soft goods on a night.
Oh, I'm a sucker for it. So
Me
here's the
too,
other
man.
one.
Oh, I might like that one more. Yeah, dude. I might have to reach out to you. After Christmas, I'm gonna see what I can
Exactly.
do. We'll talk. We'll
Sounds
talk.
good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a huge night guy, so this is up my
Yeah.
alley. I love your crustaceans, but I'm a night guy like Joe Russo. I love the nights.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, that's my lane too.
yeah, awesome, awesome. So let's talk about Legions Con. So
Yeah.
were you able to really, and this is something I've asked a lot of vendors, like, are you really able to enjoy Legions
Oh,
Con
yeah.
as a vendor?
It's definitely a different experience. I mean, like all the breakout type sessions and stuff, you just have to, at least my experience was that I couldn't walk away. I mean, Jesse and Mark were really good about, if you need a bathroom break, go get something to eat. Like
Yeah.
we just swapped in and out. Um, and Jesse had a hand in some of the things going on, so we were making sure that he could get to those. Um, so it's part of the exchange of knowing, okay, I am trying to make some money by being there as a vendor,
Right. Yeah.
and get stuff out there. So I'm
Plus.
letting some of that go. Certainly that Friday night. I mean, I told my wife before we went, before I went to Legions Con, Friday night's probably my favorite part because it's that, it's where all the vendors, all the creators are in the room together and we're all getting set up.
Mhm.
So you try to get stuff set up as fast as possible so you can bounce around and just start saying hi to everybody and checking
Yes.
out like, okay, this is my chance to see what's at your table.
And there
Um,
was actually people that were kind of low key shopping
oh yeah.
while
Oh
people
yeah.
were setting up. How do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, there's certainly, like, okay, we want to give everybody a fair shot at stuff.
Right.
We're also there to try to move stuff. So,
Yeah.
if somebody gives me, weepy puppy dog eyes, I'll bend. I'll
Yeah.
bend.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
mean,
know.
I get the excitement, like I was in the lobby and I saw Darla Ackerman and I gave her a hug and she's so nice and sweet. And I'm like, oh, I can't
Mhm.
wait to see her capes. And she's like, you want to see them right now? And I'm like, duh, yeah, I do. So I went into the room
Uh-huh.
when, everyone, all you guys were setting up. And I was just like, oh my God, like it just seems way bigger than it was last year. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was exactly the same, but it just seemed like
Mhm.
huge. And
Yeah.
poor Darla, she showed me, and I was overwhelmed. There was too many choices, so I didn't buy any of her capes. And then I regret it. I'm like, God, I could have bought like
Oh man.
3 or 4, but I was
Yeah.
just like, I couldn't decide because I'm like, I want this cape, but I don't know what
Yeah.
feature I want it for. I want this one, and so I just got so overwhelmed
Yeah.
that I didn't buy any. But it was so cool to see you guys set up. But I didn't want to, I saw Emil and I saw Jesse
Yeah.
and Kurt, but I didn't want to get anybody's way. But I wanted to, see everybody. But
Oh yeah.
I had to wait. But yeah, I know that they kind of make some time for you guys
Mhm.
to like do some shopping. I know that
Yeah, on
like they
Saturday.
they kicked people out. I mean, not in a rude way, but they're like, hey, we're shutting down so that the vendors can come in and do armory or do the
Yeah.
table or buy amongst themselves and stuff. So I appreciate that they do that, but
Yeah.
it's still got to be kind of like you miss out on some stuff.
Well, there's so much. I mean, there's no like imagine. I mean, we have basically what was it, an hour or maybe 2 hours? I think it's only an hour.
That's
That
not a lot of
basically
time.
that's enough. No, it's basically enough time to get into the Four Horsemen. Buy what we need,
Mhm.
um, and then sort of run through the vendor hall and try to see what's going on. So so there was a couple times during the day where I'd ask Mark or Jesse, "Hey, could you guys just watch the table? I just want to pop over and say hi to this person or check out this table or something." So
Yeah.
I tried to do a little bit more of that. Again, the guys were super cool about that, and vice versa. We just swapped in and out as we needed to, and um, yeah, just so we can make sure to do that. So I made a point to be better about doing that this year than I was last year. So
Mhm.
I just didn't know what to expect. Um, so my hope is actually this next year. So I don't live far from where Legion's
Nice.
Con is. So I was
Lucky
actually commuting
bastard.
back and forth.
Lucky.
Sorry, man. But that it's like it's helpful. I can come back, help out my wife with
Yes.
the kids and everything at
Yes,
the end of the evening.
absolutely.
But it also means I have a foot out the door kind of the whole time. So
Mhm.
um, so my goal is this next year is actually, and my wife already gave, thumbs up. We're ready to, make it work. But is to say Friday, get a room at the hotel just for Friday into Saturday,
Mhm.
so I can just, be there the whole evening, hang out Friday night with everybody, and then have the whole day Saturday. And
That's
then,
nice. Yeah,
yeah,
I think that social part of it, like once the doors close
yeah,
is when everyone can kind of relax and visit and, have a drink or have a bite and
yeah,
just chill out and like, we're not in sale mode. We're in, let's all, reconnect and
right, right, right.
yeah. So you were boning out, like you were gone. So once you the doors closed to sell and you got stuff, you went a little shopping yourself, then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you went home.
yeah. It's about. I probably left Saturday. On Saturday, I probably left at about 7 o'clock.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is bummer.
Yeah.
And then Sunday I
Yeah,
stayed
but
a
I
little
mean,
bit,
you
tried
got
to hang
family.
around,
You got yeah. But that's cool that, this coming year you're gonna be able to hang out a little bit and
trying to make some space to do it. Yeah,
That's awesome, man. That's
Join
awesome.
there.
So did you have any pickups? Anything that you were able to grab for yourself that you were
Yeah. So I got a bunch of. I mean, actually, on one of those nights that we just looked at, Dennis Derby hooked me up with
his
night.
helmets?
Yeah, because he commissioned. There's a sculptor, Blue D dot sculptures on Instagram.
Never heard of him,
Um,
but man, those helmets.
she's a phenomenal sculptor. I think she's in Chile. But yeah, I mean, I've worked with her a few times on some things. Do I
So is
have
that
her?
helmet one of her?
That one is actually not. There were a handful of other ones. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, what Dennis did was commissioned a bunch of these are historical, like these are actual suits of armor.
Really? So those
Yeah.
were actually made before, like I didn't
Yeah,
know.
so they're like parade armor.
Yeah.
So he got a
Wow.
bunch of those done up, and Blue D did those for him. Um, so I picked up a bunch of those from him because he's been posting those for a while, and I'm like, man, I love her work. Those are super cool. I love Knights. So I haven't done anything other than that one yet, but that was super cool. Um, Four Horsemen, obviously the armory experience was probably the highlight.
Dude,
Yeah.
I am in love. Where's mine? I've got one nearby at all times. So
They're they're so good to just fidget with.
I put the Morgulith. So
Oh,
it doesn't
nice.
really show it's purple, but the knight is a
Yeah.
purple one. But I got Morgulith because it's kind of floppy and long. So I got
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah.
I upgraded her cape and gave it to this purple knight. But man, I love that armory so much.
Yeah, it was super fun.
I had so much fun with
Well,
that.
I was like, man, I don't know. I wasn't real sold on it. And I was like, what the heck? I'm gonna go through. Because I just really wanted to stock up on Valiant Knights, and they sold out in a heartbeat. So I
So
was like,
fast,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I
So I
don't
was like,
think they
okay,
had very many.
no, I don't
They
think
probably had like a case or something.
yeah. So I zipped through the armor experience and was like, all right, what the heck? I'm gonna go ahead and get my Emerald Valiant Knight because I thought if I'm gonna do anything, that the green armor, I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I ran through, and then at the same time, I was like, what the heck? I'm gonna get yeah.
I have the other helmet though for him, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I did the Hound
that
Skull
that
helmet with my
green is just
so
gorgeous.
cool. Yeah.
Holy crap, man!
Yeah, so I grabbed one of
So you
them,
got
and
one
then
armory. You
well,
just
I got that one, and then I was like, they have no Valiant Knights, but I can basically build almost a Valiant Knight. So I ran through and got a few more. I just did the gunmetal, just sort of
gunmetal.
straight
Yeah,
Valiant Knight builds. So the goal is if I want to do like throw some tunics on them or something.
mhm.
Um, uh, um,
So are you
crap.
making the tunics? Or are you buying?
No.
Where?
Oh my goodness, what is his name? Oh, Joseph Connors. Um,
Oh, does he making some? I didn't know that.
mhm,
Just talking about him today.
yeah.
Me and Rob Zamora. I guess he had made some scarves for Rob, and I have a few also, just some basic colored. Usually I've got one that's around that I have wrapped around a knight or something, but
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know he does tunics for knights. I'll have
Well, I
to.
was bugging him about it. I mean, I think he had a prototype at some point, and then I just bugged him. It's like, hey man, you could do more. Um,
Absolutely, yeah.
so I
Work
have
harder.
him. Yeah, oh yeah, just work hard.
Yeah.
But he was like he was prototyping. I'm like, dude, like this is spot on. 2-piece tunic. The top half goes on, and then
Mhm.
you just do the skirt part. Um, so he did a few for me. Actually, I do have one here.
And then I know there's a few other people like the Strupp family.
Right, I
They've
have one
got
of theirs
some.
too.
And then I think see Jessam also, maybe, or is it Kai Labs? Maybe I'm thinking
Kyle
Kai.
has one. Yeah, he has. His is looking really cool because he's actually doing the gambeson where it has the kind of the pleating in
Mm,
it, and I think he is actually stuffing it. Because there was multiple layers to those things, so you had a
yeah,
lot of padding. So if somebody hits you,
yeah.
it's
How
really
how do
absorbing.
they work that
I
small?
don't
That
know.
just blows my mind.
It's crazy, but
Artistry.
that's
Wow.
a That's one of, and I didn't do anything with this one. This was just raw straight from Joseph Connors, but um, that's what he's producing, and so that's my happy king,
He
King
needs
Lou.
like an Etsy or something. Like that guy needs to do more. Like, I mean,
I mean, he really does. Here, let me grab. I'm gonna grab one more. Sort of
sure,
across the room here.
sure. And I don't mean that in a bad way, Joseph. Your stuff is phenomenal, but man, we need to see more Joseph Connor work. I think his stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah. So this one,
Oh,
let me get the shield out of the
and I
way.
love that yellow too.
Yeah. So
Love
he did that two-tone, the split color, and then I just did the paint pen
that's my
etching
favorite
on there.
helmet too. I love that helmet.
Yeah.
Is it the salad helmet? Did you
Yeah.
drill a
Yeah.
hole?
Just yep. Just pop that in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. I did that with the I have one of them. I don't know where it is. I did the same thing with the Hone Skull.
Mhm.
Hound Skull. Just drilled a hole in and popped in one of the plumes.
I'm kind
Add
of
some
bummed
razzle dazzle.
that the retail armory is so select. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
hoping that we could just buy baggies like we did before,
Yeah.
like the armory and just be like, I'll take 5 gunmetal chests with,
Right.
but I know it's a lot of work. It's,
Yeah.
they would be there forever. Poor Cookie trying to
Right.
fill these.
Yeah. The individual, like, okay, he wants these
And
arms
then people
of
are gonna be like, "You
these.
sent me the wrong,"
Yeah.
So I get it. It just kind of like, oh man, but I'm happy to. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully in January or February they're gonna
Yeah.
start selling those. So I'm already.
Well, the one I'll tell you, the thing that I'm really excited about was the is it the 10th anniversary or what? The
Yes, that's
Silver
Silver
Knight.
Knight. Yes,
Oh man, I'm gonna be stocking up on those.
because I'm trying to think like. I have the Steel Knight and I have the Iron Knight. Those are both 2.0. But excuse me, I don't know if I've ever seen the Silver Knight. Was the
Well, it's
Silver
just
Knight,
like, yeah, it's just like one of the 1.0s. It's just in that
so is it
silver
like
color.
Elaine? Is it like an Elaine
Hmm.
body or
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar, and it just doesn't have the detailing. Yeah, because
yeah,
he has a couple different colors in there. But
yeah.
the 2.0 is it looks like, at least I think I remembered correctly, that it's like a Valiant Knight, but it has like a new helmet on it and everything.
I'm ready for
So
that. Yeah, I
he's
even reached out to Trevor. I'm like, dude, because he photographed it, and I'm like,
yeah.
is there a color that it's similar to? And he's like, I don't remember. I didn't compare it to any. I'm like, you bastard. I want to know,
Give me the
what.
knowledge.
Yeah, I need to know like what is it comparable to, like the color wise. But
Right.
I guess as we get closer, we'll get
They'll
more
let us know.
info on it. Yeah, they'll let us know.
Gives me a little bit of time, get past the holidays, recoup some finances, have some money. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They usually it's like I always say it's like once a pre-order ends, then something is coming. So,
Yeah.
it's like you got past this and then you think your wallet is safe, but boom, here comes a in stock sale, or here comes
Damn.
a figure obscura, or here comes
Right.
something that you didn't know was gonna, like the new Zolocon headhunter figure that
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed it. And now I need that. So
Yeah.
are you gonna make it out to a Zolocon?
I'm planning on it. Yeah, actually. Talking to Len about having some space at the Wolf King table for some
Nice.
of probably some crabs. But
Another great table, another
yeah.
great person and
Oh yeah,
company for
Len's
sure.
great.
One of
Yeah.
the best. Sweet, man. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you. I already
All
kind of
right.
broke it to the fiance. I'm like, hey, what about Pennsylvania? King of Prussia. There's a giant mall there, and
Yeah.
it's a casino. It'd be fun little weekend getaway. And she's like, I had to sell it to her.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna be gone for
Yeah,
a
you
bunch
won't
of
see
it.
me the whole Saturday probably,
Yeah.
and my wallet will be coming back smoking. But
So I'm gonna need you to win at the casino.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. And then Necro should be there. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
guess yeah.
I didn't really pre-order much for some reason. I didn't uh,
Oh wow.
didn't buy much of Necro, so I was kind of anti-skeleton, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on with me. So
Man, but your pro night,
I
that's
know. That's why I'm like, I went back and I pre-ordered from Big Bad Toy Store,
okay.
but
Mhm.
just to kind of cover myself. But I would love to just pick that stuff up at the table, buy it
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
direct from the boys. So
Right.
it's going to be an expensive weekend for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, oh, man, I'm so hyped about those figures. I mean, I think, it'll be the All-Stars, um, but the Sir Enoch figure is kind of my that's
yes,
the dream. That's the dream
yes,
figure right there. The Templar was what got me into, um, Mythic Legions in the first place, so to see that kind of figure upgraded in that very classic with the cloth and
yes.
everything, man, that's I'm like I mean, if I hadn't already pre-ordered stuff that's gonna get released after that, I'd say I'm done. That I'm peak figure, I'm done.
Right. You
But
can't top this, Eric. So this
and
is it.
then
This is the
and
pinnacle.
then, you know, the lion figure.
Oh, yeah. We're going
What
into
is
that.
his name? Okay.
Leodicius.
Yeah, Leodicius. Yeah, yeah. Couldn't
Yeah,
think of the name.
yeah. We're gonna go into that.
Oh man, so hyped. Yeah.
Me too. Me too. But yeah, I love that they're continuing the Templars
Yeah.
well, because I know some people like the Templars don't belong, and then it's like it's Eric's world. Let him, he
Let him play.
yeah, let him play. I love the Templars, the Dark Templars, the regular Templars, and now we've got Sir Enoch and
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of the other name,
Elijah.
Elijah.
Yeah.
Great, beautiful figures. They're gonna have the
Oh yeah.
faceplate technology,
Uh-huh.
and then we get the Blue Shield Knight. So it's a good time the
Yeah.
next year or two to be Knight fans. So he's
Yeah. Yeah.
given
Yeah.
us, he's given us some of the good Knight.
And I just can't imagine that they're not gonna do, with the dragon coming, that they're not gonna do something like a Saint George. Just I mean, you could really just
Yeah.
do like a Valiant Knight, but just give him a really cool tunic.
Mm.
Um, and then maybe a unique head sculpt or something. But
Yeah.
I think you could sell that
Oh,
as a
for
figure
sure.
obscura,
Yeah. Yeah, and I
and I'd
love
be
that.
all over it.
I'd be all over it. Yeah. C. Jessam is doing some good
Mhm.
soft goods for the new Knights that are coming out. And it's
Yeah.
just, I
Just give
wish
him like a big lance, like a unique
uh,
lance. Yeah, it could be so
with
cool.
the banner on it, and
Yeah.
like a regal horse that's clip
Oh,
clopping, and
yeah.
all for that, dude.
Yeah.
I want all the Knights. Yeah, just such good stuff. But so you were there for GCon. Were you able to?
I wasn't, no, I watched GCon while I was smashing the print button on my printer for the last final things and
Yeah,
bagging things up, and I'm, like, watching, while
it was
doing this.
awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first one that I actually was at,
Oh, cool.
but I didn't realize how long it was going to be. So like I was kind of up towards the front, and after like a few hours, I was like, "Oh man, like Jeremy's a great talker, but how is this gonna last for?" And I
Uh-huh.
think he had like it was like 5 hours or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
long. And I texted my buddy Matt Van Fosten. I'm like, "Dude, I'm hungry. Let's go get a bite." And that's when they released the dragon.
Did you step out of the room for the dragon?
Stepped out of the room. Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah,
I did that, dude. I did the same. I turned off I like walked away and was doing something else. I'm like, okay, they're into the board game and the this, and I'm like,
yeah.
the
That's
art
that's
book.
kind of when I was like, I'm interested. It's
It's
cool. Like
great. It's
I like the
great. Yeah.
figures was cool. And then they were talking kind of. They had the guy, the Glios guy, and
Yes.
he was
Yeah.
talking, and that was kind of when I was not tuning out, but like, I mean, not everything is going to interest you the
Right.
most. So,
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna bow out. I'm gonna go grab a bite real
Yep.
quick, and we decided to go and drive somewhere.
Oh
So we
no.
went to yeah, we're on our way. His Matt's son Gavin was watching on his thing, the YouTube,
Yeah.
his son is awesome, Gavin. He's so into like the mythic, the line. So it was cool to talk to him. I'm not sure how old he is, but it was cool. So he was watching it as Matt was driving, and
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there, and he's like, they're gonna show something right now. And he's like, it's the dragon. I'm like, what? And I'm on my phone, like trying to like, and we were on the interstate and like people were like yelling. And I was like, oh man, I can't believe I missed it, man.
Yeah.
But dude, seeing that thing in person, man,
it's unreal. Unreal.
It's unreal.
I'm
I
so
asked,
hyped. Yeah.
go ahead.
I just said I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped for it.
I asked Cornboy, I'm like, I gotta ask. I go, this thing, and whenever he talked about it, his eyes lit up. Like he was so excited and hyped for this dragon. I can't wait to play his interview.
Oh man, yeah.
Was so excited about this dragon. And I said, CB, I gotta ask. Are you guys gonna take it on tour? No, I said, CB, I gotta ask. And he's like, how much? I'm like, no, I wasn't gonna ask that. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like $1,000. I'm gonna pay whatever it is. I wasn't gonna ask you that, but I'm wondering, are you guys going to take it on the road? And he's like, he couldn't really say, you know, I know they have plans, but he didn't really want to like, you know, but he said kind of cryptically, like, it will be seen by people. Like, I'm like, if you take this to big shows, like you're gonna get people like the people that didn't get to see it.
Oh my goodness.
Majesty at Legion's Con, and once they see it, there's no way they're not gonna want it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The pictures don't do it justice. No offense, Trevor, but
well, you just can't get the scope, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Until you're standing in person, you're like, this thing is big. This is very big.
It's very big. Very big. But just well made. That rock. So amazing. So amazing.
Did you get to see the butter dragon?
I did. Yeah, I was just kind of walking by, and my friend got to hold its head, and I didn't get to do that. I was like, damn, that'd have been cool though.
Yeah.
Hold its head and stuff. But yeah, I saw that dragon. I guess Chris G had it in his car as they were leaving. He had kind of packed it up and was driving home with it or something. But how did they sneak it in to the? That's what I want to know.
Big box.
How
big
did
box.
you guys do that, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, all the displays. I was busy setting up, so they could have snuck anything out. I wouldn't have known, but
there's some nosy busybodies. I'm surprised that they.
It's true.
I had heard that somebody did see it, but they kind of kept their mouths shut because they didn't want to.
Good on them.
They didn't want to be blackballed, probably, or
right.
You don't want Jeremy on your ass. You know what I mean? You don't want him as a. But so how do you feel about this wave? Was it kind of did it hit some notes that you liked? Did you have some favorites? Are you doing it all in? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't really do all-ins. I'm picky because immediately, I'll be honest, like when I look at a new wave, I'm immediately thinking, what can I do with this?
So you've got that customize your eye.
Yeah, because honestly, like even as it stands, there's too much in my collection, and I'm feeling antsy. I'm feeling like I need stuff to leave. I like a lean and mean,
right?
You know, where it's like these are the pieces that spark joy. You know.
Yes. No, I get that.
I just get overwhelmed and it's already. I mean, I have pieces of stuff all over the place, so it gets overwhelming in here. So I try to keep things moving. Keep things fresh.
I respect that. I just buy like I can't. I literally like whenever I'm at a Horseman table, my wallet just opens up and like. So I went to the first thing I did was go to the Horseman table. I got there at 3 a.m. and had a little, one of those outdoor chairs that you go to a concert. And so I had that and I just planted it and I took a nap and came back. But that was my number one thing was to go to the table. And they had some amazing older figures. You know, I think William Wallace picked up Hadriana. They had Arethyr single pack.
Right.
I picked up an Iron Knight. I picked up a Silver Knight. I picked up the female deluxe Knight Builder.
Oh, yeah.
Set. I mean, older stuff. You know, they had version ones of the Cavern Dwarf, so I picked up like 3 of him. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I don't need that many. Why am I doing? But I was just so in love. I was just so happy to see these older figures that I never thought I would be able to pay, regular price.
Right.
I was just grabbing, dude, but it was just so much fun. But I get that being lean, because I can't display everything that I bought.
Right.
I've got a garage full. I've got bins full of Mythics. Like I just have this thing where if I have one figure that I love it, I want multiples. But it's like can't I can't display them. Like I
Yeah.
don't have room for, like, what's going to happen? Is it going to drop and fall and break?
Yeah.
So I need to try and calm down buying
Yeah.
extras. I know horsemen don't like that, but
Right.
you
Don't
know,
say that. Don't say the words. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I told my wife when I started getting, it was around COVID that I started doing the customizing and then started buying figures. And I told her, like at any point that either the time or financially this starts to put any kind of strain on the family,
Mm,
like it stops.
yeah.
Hard stop. Because that's not what it's for. I said, the customizing was part of trying to survive COVID and,
Right.
having something to do with my hands. All my work went, online. Was on the phone constantly. And I'm like, I need something to be doing with my hands while I'm
Mm,
sitting around. So I said that's what it's for. Is it's a creative outlet, and then it became a bit of a side hustle when people started buying stuff from me. So I said, if it is not moving us forward as a family, it's got to stop. So
mm,
so even as there's pieces that I see. I mean, like the dragon. I'm like, this is not going to help us go forward. It's just going to be stinking cool, and I
yeah.
can't wait to plunk this in the middle of the living room. Have all the kids like give each of them a night. Like, let's
Yes.
just play with this
Yes.
thing.
Absolutely.
I'm really
That's
hyped
what it's
for that.
about, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it's about
Yeah.
to me. And I think the horsemen, they really embrace the family aspect. They
Hmm.
bring their kids, and like all weekend I saw their kids,
Oh yeah.
playing and running around and just like, being family, like
Yeah.
Eric Miller had his kids, and it's
Hmm.
just cool. I love that. It's like
Yeah.
it's a family event, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe not at 3 a.m., but even then people are not being, you know, disrespectful or anything. It's
Right.
it's just like Mythics after dark kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But no, I get it. I don't do an all in myself. Like
Yeah.
I'm not one of those that's like I need everything. I just, what I do like I will grab
Right.
sometimes multiples of. But this wave, to me it's really different. It's
Yeah.
really
Hmm.
not, and I've heard a lot of people say like it's not going to fit on my shelf, meaning it's not going to gel maybe
Right.
with a lot of the other, just because of the colors, or maybe because
Hmm.
you know who they are. And I get that. Like I'm not the type of person though that needs that continuity. Like I don't separate by faction. I don't have like
Okay.
that kind
Yeah.
of OCD-ish where all these need to be like in the right spots. Like if they're cool, I'm just throwing it on the shelf. Like I don't care.
Right.
So how are you as a collector and a displayer? Do you have
Yeah.
like,
Well, like I said, like I'm looking, when I look at these parts, I start looking immediately at the snake guys. I'm like, oh man, there's a whole new realm of things that we can do with that. Um, even the gladiator guy, that's exciting because there's all new parts in there, and then even
yes,
with the double jointed parts that are included in there. So, immediately starting to think, hey, there's stuff I could do with that. Um, Leodicius is the one that I'm like, I'm a sucker for big chunky figures. So I
he
love
is
the
a
big brute.
big
Yeah.
boy.
So that's the one that I look in that line and I'm like, that I will buy that and I will not touch it.
Yeah,
He'll go up next to a Rakagor, and those are like the two figures that I just will not touch, will not
right.
customize.
You're like, these are perfect.
Yeah, they're great. I love them. Um,
I'm curious how this guy will move though. Like the 3.0, like
right.
the double jointed, knees and arms. I'm curious how well it's gonna pose, like how fluid it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the figures that they have already are, the new ones. Like I
Hmm.
can't put down the I don't know if you bought Frankenstein's
I
creature.
didn't know.
That figure to me, like I'm looking for it now. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Okay. Oh, he fell down, Frank. Oh, it just moves So good, dude. Like it's not loose, but it's not tight. He just articulates just so
Yeah.
well.
Well, it's like the Valiant Knight and the Skeleton
Yes,
Builder too. Yeah.
yes, yeah. They're definitely attaining higher levels
Mhm.
of articulation and detail, like melding the two together of like beautiful design
Right.
and artistry and craftsmanship, but also great engineering in the figures.
Mhm.
But yeah, Leodicius is just, let's get to him here. There he is.
I
Just look
love
at
it.
that
I love
big,
it.
beefy, that hammer. Cornboy like compared the hammers, or maybe it was Joe of Leodicius and like, who is it? Is it Attila that comes
Attila,
with
yeah, that comes to
I mean, that hammer is huge, and this
Mhm.
hammer is like 5 times as big,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but man, I can't wait to get this
It's just
in hand
so cool. It's
and
just so
feel
cool.
how heavy and solid.
Mhm.
But man, what a figure, dude. For
Yeah,
$80, get out of here.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
for all the
Well, there's
work,
been yeah, yeah, I mean, it's the
the
sculpting,
detail,
yeah, and the extra heads, yeah,
extra. Yeah, it's way, I mean, $80, get out of here all day
yeah.
long. I think it's going though, is I think it's going to like 100 at the shows
Oh,
and
really?
retail. I think if you order now it's 80, but I think it jumps, but I could be wrong.
Well, it always jumps for retail, but, I mean, usually they usually bump up a little bit
Yeah, I
for
could
the
be wrong,
show, but yeah.
but yeah,
Well,
that's
as you got all these figures now that are getting different, it used to be you just have like the Legion Builder, the standard price, the deluxe price, the ogre price. There's so many different iterations of like,
right.
well, this one's like, not quite a deluxe, but it's got the soft goods, so it's in between. So just
Yeah,
a lot more variety in in the pricing structure and all that.
yeah, yeah.
But
That's
yeah, I was
that's
down for this one. I'm
why
like, definite pre-order.
I
I want
think
it in my hand.
yes, I think he's going to sell really well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's going to be one of those ones where you're at a con, and even if you're not a fan, you're going to see that because they're going to take
Yeah.
it out of the box,
Oh yeah.
and it's going to be sitting there in all its glory. And there's no way you walk by that without being like, "Whoa!" You know.
I
Um,
think I need a giant lion,
I
man.
think I need a giant lion. Yeah, all His Majesty and
Yeah. Oh,
royal
yeah.
grandeur, the soft goods and all that.
Yeah.
But what a chunk! Like
Right, right, right,
I'm keeping him on the lower shelf. Like he is
right. No balls, no balls.
balls, man. I do not
Well,
want.
have you ever seen the, it's Marvel Select, Abomination? Have you ever seen that figure? So I don't know if you know the character, but he's like the Hulk
Yeah,
villain.
yeah,
That
yeah.
Marvel Select figure is probably about, it's like 8 inches.
Mhm.
I mean, it's solid. There's no
Was it a
hollow parts to it.
build a figure?
No, it's just like Marvel Select was just the
Oh,
slightly
okay.
larger scale figures, but that particular figure is just solid plastic. I mean, I ordered one from Amazon and got it. Like you could kill a man with this
You could
thing.
bludgeon him to
You
death.
could bludgeon him to death. And I'm like, I love this. So I
I
turned
have
it
a red
into
Hulk that's
okay.
sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I turned it into an Umber Hulk from it's like this big critter from Dungeons and Dragons, these like bug creatures that
I feel
come up
like
out
I
of the
need to
ground.
see that. I feel like
Oh,
is it
I can
reachable?
grab it. It's
Yeah, I
just
feel
give me a
like I
second.
need to see that.
Yeah.
Share with the audience your creation. How's everybody tonight? I love you guys.
All
Thank
right,
you for watching.
headphones first. Try to get these back in without knocking a
Yeah,
lobster over.
yeah, don't do that.
So this is the
Wow, dude, that was the abomination.
yeah.
Holy crap.
So let's see if I can get to this. So
That
that's
is amazing. Wow.
so
He's
that's
got to be solid, a couple pounds, right? He's
he's,
got
he's
to be.
very heavy.
Jeez, that's a
So
beautiful, beautiful piece, sir.
so
Excellent.
then it's all
Yeah,
sculpted up there in the
your
back.
imagination. And I've heard, like, before I even talked to you, I heard, who was it that was talking about you? It was like Curtis or somebody was saying, like,
Uh-huh.
This guy is like from outer space. Like he is making like his creations are just out there, but like so freaking cool. So I think that that's really savvy on your part, whether it's intentional or not. But you making things that like no one has even freaking thought of is a great, in my mind, it's a great business, thing. Like you're making something that no one has done before.
It's not, I mean, honestly, like, I'm not trying to go out of my way to find the new thing. Like, I just don't, I mean, when I'm working on stuff, I'm not working with that kind of pressure. I just, um, what do I want to make? What's
Yeah.
in my brain right now? And just start creating. And then if it works, it works. I mean, I have plenty of sculpts that have not taken off and done anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's fine. It's just that I wanted to make this. So usually that's how I start is I'll start with, I want to make this for me. And then, hey, look at this thing I made for me. And then people, hey, I like that. You're like, okay. So that's the
So,
one. That's the one that's gonna sell.
so that's yeah. So how successful would you say is the crab body for you? Is that like,
Very. Yeah, I mean, that's been the thing that has taken off more than anything else. Yeah, I mean, that was selling as soon as, I mean, I made that in January of this year. And when I first posted about it, it was selling, pretty quickly. And then obviously right around Legion's Con, I started posting about it again, and it just sort of regenerated interest in it. And I mean, I have made maybe 15 complete customs, and all of them,
yeah,
sold right away.
that's got
So
to feel good, dude, that
it
you're
does, yeah, and it is encouraging, that if, yeah, just even to generate a little bit extra income for the family and stuff.
absolutely. What
My
was
wife she'll walk in and she'll be like, "Hey, babe, we need to get this thing. Can you make some crabs?"
work the magic?
I think
So
so.
what
I
was
think
yeah, what was her initial reaction to like you like, hey, look, babe, this is what I made. Like, what the hell is this?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, she's, when we first started talking about, I got the 3D printer, used some of the stimulus money from back during COVID, and I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I keep my sanity with this?" She's like, "Yep, have at it." So, um, when I started sculpting things and would show her things, yeah, it would be kind of like, huh, that's, it's really creative. And I could see the
Interesting.
skill. Yeah,
Interesting.
interesting, interesting. And then, um, at this point, I feel like sometimes it feels like, the kid coming home from school with like, put this on the fridge.
Yeah,
But she's always been super supportive about it. She has a
yeah.
fun time with
That's
it.
that's
And
always good when you have a partner that
oh, yeah.
has got your back and supports your creative. Because when you're creating something,
Oh, yeah.
it's just a raw, you're just making something. You
Yeah.
don't know if it's good, you don't know if
Right. Right.
it's gonna be something that people might like or not. You're just going from
Yeah.
something internal. You're wanting to make something. You don't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's going to be something that will appeal to others or just yourself.
Right.
So
Right. And
uh,
she's a good sounding board too. Like if I show her something, I'm like, "What do you think of this?" Because she doesn't have any interest in this stuff. So like, "Do you think this is like too off the wall or whatever?" And she'll rein me back in, or no, go for it.
mm,
Um, she's also really good. She's got a great eye for color. So
mm.
if I'm painting something, I'm like, "Babe, what does this need?" And she'll be like,
That's
that's what
really
needs it.
important, dude.
Hmm.
Like I've picked Joe Vassapolo and Eric Treadway's brain on like, how do you guys pick like the color?
Hmm.
Because their color palettes or their ideas or thoughts on color, I think it's just as important as the creation.
Yeah.
You make something that's kind of like Pepto Pink, and I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
Right.
like the colors that they pick are always like,
Yeah.
it just makes things even better. Like the colors on that dragon are just
Oh man.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And that could have made or break that. I mean, it broke that. I mean, if those colors weren't on point, it would have been
Yeah,
like, I can't warrant shelling out that
yeah,
kind of money, but
yeah.
spot on. I mean, yeah.
Somebody had mentioned because Cornboy had said like if it's successful, of course, I mean, says if it's successful, we will make a ton. We will make a bunch of different dragons.
Yeah.
And somebody, I don't know who mentioned it the other day. Maybe it was, I think it was Dave Orkin. He said a black one. And I was like, ooh,
Hmm.
obsidian, like kind of like a glossy black.
Yeah.
would be kind of cool, maybe some red eyes and
Yeah.
something cool. But
I
yeah,
can't imagine they won't do the classic red dragon, you
I
know?
hope so. That was kind of what I wanted, like that kind of smog,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of brick red kind of,
Yep.
that's always kind of like the dragon that color that I liked. But I get wanting to do like the classic,
Mhm.
green and orange kind of dragon first.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, it's perfect. Like I didn't know
Yeah.
I needed it, and then I need it. So
I knew I needed it.
yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. I didn't think we would talk an hour, but we did, and I
There's
appreciate
plenty
that.
to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna release both parts, the episode 30 and then episode 30.2 on the same day, so that we will see the whole Brian
Whoa.
episode.
Well, thanks
I
for having me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your time and would love to have you back. I'd love to show off
Gladly.
some of your stuff. I wish I had more slides. I kind of did like a last minute thing and added a couple, but it looks like some of the ones that I wanted to add weren't there. But please check out Brian's Instagram. And I think I've got the banner here. He's got a lot of his beautiful creations. Whoops, wrong one. He's got a lot of his creations on there. Plus, reach out to him for some of those nights, but not that one that I have my eye on.
Don't look at that. Don't look at
Yeah,
that.
don't look at that one. Yeah, just keep scrolling, keep scrolling. But thank you so much, dude, for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience in the scheduling and stuff. We've been talking about it for quite a while, but I'm glad
Right.
that we had a chance to sit and chat. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
Happy to do it, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man. Well, thank you for you guys watching, and thank you, Brian. I appreciate you. Everyone have a good night, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you. Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.